Morning, everybody. It's October 10th, 2022. So I have lots of news. Two newses right here. And -1 news for these guys. So Poppy, the runt of the 3 black Swedish that I have. Poppy died yesterday, which is pretty tragic. Well, the details are basically that she started getting really sick around Wednesday of last week and wasn't moving and wasn't eating, and that went on for 2 days. I took her to the vet finally after some deliberation, and wow, these guys are going nuts. The vet determined that she has pneumonia because her respiration rate was like 3x what it should be. So yeah, Poppy had pneumonia, supposedly. These guys are begging for some treats. And was prescribed antibiotics, and I learned how to tube feed her. I think there's a video of me tube feeding her on the channel. I tube fed her for a few days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and yesterday, Sunday, I went to tube feed her again after an hour or two, and I usually burrito her in like a little towel so that she can't move, and I usually straddle them so that the towel is held down by my weight. But this time I didn't really do that. I had her in a bathtub, so I decided to sit on the edge of the tub and try just burrito her with the towel, and then hold her face. And I was holding her face, and then I was trying to feed the tube down, and she flailed and got out of the burrito and started freaking out, flapping her wings, flailing like crazy. I was still holding her head, and her neck snapped. So her neck snapped. It was very tragic. She was still alive for like 30 seconds, and it was just like dangling around. It was super terrible. Yeah, I feel like I kind of failed to take care of her because I essentially killed her by holding her incorrectly. So that's the tragic story of how Poppy died. We went and buried her in a field kind of far away, and maybe some coyotes will eat her. I don't know, but it's not I don't really mind, I think. So on to the story about how I got these guys, I guess. Actually before that, the 2 remaining black Swedish are very peppy and energetic and large, so I'm kind of hoping that they'll be strong. Still trying to figure out what really happened to Poppy. I don't know if I believe it was pneumonia. I'm a little concerned that maybe it was like heavy metal poisoning, which is where if they eat a piece of metal in your yard, it just like absorbs into their bloodstream in their stomach, and then they slowly die. All the symptoms are there for that. So I'm considering buying a magnet and like going over all the rocks in the yard here and picking up anything I can. So yesterday I also went to a bird swap nearby, and I'd never been to one of these before. It was super cool. Basically people bring their chickens and ducks and geese and all sorts of things, quail, hedgehogs. There was just random stuff. I mean, like not even birds. And we were just going to look because it was fun, and it was really cool to see all the types of stuff people had. And there were actually quite a few Muscovy ducks, and Muscovies don't make any noise except for a really, really quiet trill. So it's super soft. She's playing with this right here. Hey, give me that. Don't want her to choke on it. Muscovy ducks make a really soft trill, and they won't really add to any of the noise pollution in this backyard, unlike these Swedish ducks who are just screamers. So we looked around for a bit and then got these 2. They're a pair. Like they were inseparable. I think they're both female. However, there's some worrying signs The farmer thought they were female. The worrying signs are that their legs and feet are like ginormous, like freaking 3x the size of the two Swedish. They're so thick, so I think they're gonna grow a lot larger, but that's okay. Even if they're female, that's normal, because they're not quite full size, even for a female. They only do the soft trilling, which I think is a female trait, so I think that's a good sign. And they don't have many of the warty caruncles yet, so I think that's also a good sign. They're only about 3 months old, roughly same age as the Swedish guys here. So far they're pretty skittish of me. But I mean, they don't just absolutely run away in my presence, but they won't eat out of my hand, unlike the Swedish ducks. But that makes sense, because I didn't raise these Muscovies from birth like the Swedish. So anyway, the farm swap, yeah, the farmer dangled a hex nut over the heads of the two Muscovies, and he was like, if it goes in a circle, then they're female. If it goes side to side, then they're male. So he was totally joking around, I think, because that's crazy. And the hex nut went in a circle for both of them. Surprise, surprise. But I think that they do have female traits. Trilling is at least a good sign. I think the males like hiss, and these guys are definitely trilling. It's not a peep, it's a trill. So yeah, we added 2 Muscovies to the flock. They seem to be totally friends now. They follow each other around. The first day, they were a lot more skittish of each other. Not skittish, they were actually kind of fighting. But the fighting was like kind of lame. I mean, ducks don't really have... As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by the screaming. Actually, I've forgotten what I was saying. Oh yeah, they weren't getting along at first, but that's kind of a par for the course when you introduce new birds. I was planning on like quarantining them, but kind of didn't do that, so hopefully they don't have any diseases. So yeah, anyways, that was the weekend. We got 2 new friends. They seem quite friendly, and soon they will be eating out of my hand, because I will make it happen.